To all the women out there, to all the moms out there, you are beautiful no matter what your postpartum bodies look like. Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. Do you guys like the hat? I was debating whether I should wear this or not for this video, but I decided against it. I got this from Major League Baseball. Yankee girl for life. Anyways, babes, so today we're gonna be talking about a topic that's kind of difficult for me to really discuss because we're gonna be talking about body image. And anyways, we will play with some makeup and just sort of get ready together and have a heart-to-heart chat. Body image. I think that's something that every girl has thought about. And for me, don't hate me for this, but I find it really, really hard to talk about because personally, I never had to struggle about body image. I never had a problem with it. I got really lucky. I'm gonna use this glow drop from Rodial. A lot of women in my family, when they were young, it was very easy for them to stay thin, and that's the case with me as well. I've always been able to eat whatever I want and not really struggle with weight gain. I mean, I've gained weight here and there when I drank too much alcohol in college, when I partied too much, too many cheeseburgers, for example, too much pizza, but it was never out of control. It was never ugly. So for me, it was kind of easy for me to lose weight, but it was not easy for me to gain weight. Call me lucky or not, but all my life, it's been that way. I'm using the By Terry foundation. I like it because it's very liquidy, very velvety, and it's ultra correcting, so the coverage is really good. I think I got a shade too dark, but it's okay for now. But anyways, as I was saying, I never had a problem with controlling my weight, but getting pregnant is pretty different. I'm really used to being fit and just healthy and just lively, having a lot of energy. I never had to exercise a lot to get a body that many think look good. Does that make sense? I never had to work really hard on a nice looking body. But getting pregnant is really, really different. On top of gaining weight, let me tell you about my experience. Many people have asked me, okay, you had a very smooth delivery. Does that mean that you've exercised all throughout your pregnancy? No, I did not at all. Like, I used to be a very active person when I lived in the US. I worked out all the time. I did Pilates all the time. I even had a certification to teach Pilates at one point. So it was very, very easy for me. But ever since I moved to China, I don't exercise nearly as much anymore. I don't know, I think the culture is a little bit different, whereas like a lot of people around you don't exercise, so you just kind of like, okay, maybe I don't make the time to do it either. I mean, it's really easy to not do it, and pushing yourself to do it all the time is actually the hard part, right? So I did not exercise nearly as much since I moved here, and when I got pregnant, I started reading about these horror stories of how women, when they exercise when they're pregnant, that could result in premature birth, which is something that I was so scared of. I mean, Scarlett was born just a little over 38 weeks. It's still a little bit earlier than the 40-week standard gestation. I mean, like after 37 weeks, you're considered normal and okay. And she was born after 38 weeks. So she's completely fine, but I was still freaking out a lot trying to keep her in for as long as possible when I was pregnant. So I didn't exercise at all because I was scared. I was scared that I would do something to harm the baby. And also another thing is that I had absolutely zero energy. I did not have any energy at all. I don't know for any moms out there, you tell me about your experience. Were you just exhausted? Because I was totally exhausted every single day. I mean, the only thing I wanted to do was just sitting there, laying there and do nothing. Like, I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to exercise. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't even want to walk around. That's how bad it was. And of course, weight gain is very natural. I was very lucky that I didn't have any morning sickness. I didn't throw up at all. I did not really feel nauseous throughout pregnancy. I didn't feel anything. I had a pretty good appetite throughout. So I ate normally, probably ate even a little bit more because I felt like, oh, it's a time for me to indulge. Although I know that's not, you know, the smartest idea, but I was still in the stage where I thought I deserved to be eating unhealthy diets sometimes, not all the time. So if I wanted fried chicken, I had fried chicken. If I wanted ice cream, I had ice cream. By the end of my pregnancy, right before I delivered, I was about 13 kg heavier than I was before. I don't know how much is that in pounds. I think about maybe 20 pounds or 18 pounds, something like that. I don't know, like someone do the conversion for me. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought, you know, the baby is probably like 8 pounds, and then I had amniotic water, and then I had the placenta, and then my blood volume is higher. So after all of that is gone, I snapped right back to where I was before. That's what I thought, right? But yeah, clearly things are not that simple. So I delivered a baby. A week later, I got on a scale. I weighed myself. Wait a minute, I only lost like 3 kg. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was supposed to be losing like 10 kg. Then I would still have like 3 kg to go before I'm completely back to normal. Then I started breastfeeding. I find myself constantly hungry. I find myself constantly tired. And I know that you're not supposed to be dieting when you're breastfeeding. It's just so hard. It's so hard, guys. Then you realize it's almost impossible for you to lose weight when you're nursing, because when you're breastfeeding, you're not supposed to do very rigorous exercises. You're not really supposed to diet. You have to eat as much as possible to make sure that you have adequate nutrition intake so you can keep your milk supply. And then also you're really scared that if you exercise really hard, they say that you create some acid in your body that makes your breast milk taste funny, and your baby wouldn't like it, and that would interfere with your breastfeeding. So I couldn't really diet, and day after day, I always thought that I would lose the weight naturally. Now it's a little over 3 months postpartum. I'm still 10 pounds heavier, and I'm stuck there. Like, my body is stuck there. Like, it just wouldn't lose any more weight no matter what I did. Not no matter what I did, but just it wouldn't lose any more weight naturally, like easily, just like before. Because anytime before, I would just eat a little bit less dinner, and then 3 days later, I would lose like 2 kg. But these days, not happening. Like, my weight is very stubborn. My weight really just stuck there. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not happy about it, but that's not the worst part of the struggle. I'll tell you guys what the worst part of the struggle is. I am a very public person. Otherwise, I wouldn't become a blogger. I don't mind sharing a lot about my life, the good, the bad, the ugly. I don't really hide anything. I try to think of myself as an open book. I try to think of myself as someone who doesn't really care about what other people say. Okay, today let's use the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. So I like to think myself as a very honest and sincere person. I don't mind telling you guys where I am when it comes to my weight or how I feel about it. And being a blogger, you have to have really thick skin, which I think I do. I don't really get bothered. I get angry and then I snap back. I would, you know, usually like fight back when I see really nasty comments for no reason. But I don't really get upset over them because that's to be expected. I mean, no matter how much of a perfect angel you are, there are always gonna be people talking shit. There's always gonna be haters. I remember Paris Hilton said before that if you want to be a very successful public figure, you're gonna have to ignore all haters. You're gonna have to ignore all of them and just keep living your life, because haters, they're just gonna hate and they don't want your dreams to come true, and they're just very miserable individuals. So you would have to ignore all of them. But at the same time, it's really hard to not be bothered when you are very insecure about something. And I'm not insecure about my age. I know that I didn't get pregnant until I'm in my 30s. Of course, after pregnancy, I'm not 16 anymore. My metabolism is not a 16-year-old girl. So it's gonna be harder for me to lose the weight. I know that. And I completely understand that. This is Sephora's eyeshadow pen for men. And this was sent to my husband, but I'm gonna use it. When someone attacks you so openly about your body and calls you fat, calls you, in Chinese, it's 大妈, meaning like an older, middle-aged, frumpy, fat woman. It doesn't feel great, especially if you're someone who never had to struggle with your weight. It doesn't feel awesome. Clearly, no matter how much you're trying to ignore the troll, you know it's not something nice to say, right? So it really bothers me a little bit, but mostly it's because all these attacks, no matter whether they are age-related or weight-related or body image-related, overwhelming majority of these attacks come from women. That really bothers me because As women, I don't know why we always feel the need to judge others when there's no reason to do so. I mean, I personally am guilty of snapping back at people. I've cussed at people. I've said really nasty things to people when I'm angry, but I've never done it unless someone provoked me. Let's just put it that way. Unless someone attacks me, I don't say anything mean about anybody. Because I really believe that if you don't have anything nice to say, it's better not to say anything. I really believe that. You could say that it's really, really corny or cliche, but I really believe that. This is the ELLE Girl eyeliner that I love. I sell this in my store. Some people from Taiwan and Hong Kong bought it. Oh my god, I didn't expect any order to come from, not overseas, but I didn't expect any order to come from outside of mainland China. But thank you guys, I feel very international. Anyways, what I was saying, it's just really nasty when women are attacking each other, especially attacking a new mom about her body and her age. I know that I don't look like how when I was competing for Miss USA, I worked out 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. I mean that, and ate very, very healthy. That's fundamentally unsustainable. My body doesn't look completely flawless like that, and I also don't look like my normal self when I'm not exercising. I was still a pretty thin person. Now I'm not thin, and I'm trying to learn to be okay with it. My body created a human being. My body carried a life for 9 months. My body incubated a miracle. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I don't want anybody out there to feel bad about it. Your body is miraculous. You have superpower. You created life. You carried on the legacy of the human race. Without women sacrificing their bodies, there wouldn't be life in this world. So how can anyone say that you look fat? Oh, pregnancy made you fat. You look disgusting just because they've had kids. I don't understand why anybody would be this evil and be this mean, but clearly there are some very deeply unhappy people out there. When they say this about me, yeah, I'm not happy about it, but I'm mostly worried about when other women hear it too. Because let's face it, if you're okay with calling some new moms fat, then it makes it okay for someone to call you fat in the future. It makes it an environment where it's okay to degrade women according to the way they look. It makes it okay to demonize people and humiliate people just because they've gained weight due to a pregnancy. It is ridiculous because weight gain is such a natural part of pregnancy. If you don't gain enough weight during pregnancy, your baby's not going to be as healthy as he or she should be. So I don't understand why anyone feel the need to attack moms over their weight gain. But you know what? That happens every day. People say, you look fat. Oh my god, what happened to you? Your face looks huge. You don't look nearly as pretty as you used to. You had a baby. I know in a Chinese society, it is okay to talk about one's weight publicly. It's okay to comment on somebody's body publicly. But I really don't like that. I think it's just so rude. I've heard people calling my cousin fat. I've heard people calling the women I know, okay, she's thick, she's got thick legs, and she's got a fat belly, or just really, really disgusting and mean things like that. Or celebrities out there. It is so hard to be a Chinese celebrity. You really have to be pin thin to please everyone. Even you are just normal or even on the thin side, people will say, oh, you have a big belly. You don't look like a Barbie doll. Fuck no. I am a human being. I'm not a plastic fucking doll. I'm not gonna look like a Barbie. If somebody actually looks like a live Barbie doll, good for her. But majority of the women are not going to look like that. And majority of the women are going to gain weight when they're pregnant. Majority of the new moms with no sleep, with hormone going all over the place, when they're breastfeeding, they are gonna feel really depressed, they are gonna feel really out of shape, and they are gonna feel really tired. That's life. And nobody should make them feel bad just because they've had a baby. But I've experienced that on the internet. I've experienced people calling me all kinds of disgusting fat names. Personally, I really don't think I'm fat, but what can you do, right? When they're desperate, when they're really, really unhappy, it is really hard for them to be happy for others. This Janela palette is everything. It's kind of old. It might have expired, but I'm still using it. That's how much I like it, because it's really pretty. I'm telling you. Let me show you. It's got lip shades and then lip gloss. Is it pretty? I really love the color because it's very natural too. I love it. I don't know about you guys. But anyways, you know, today I'm gonna do something really bold. Watch till the end of this video. I will show you my postpartum belly. I'll let you know what a woman who's delivered a baby 3 weeks ago, what her body is gonna look like, what her belly looks like. So you can make your own decision whether to have children. You can make your own judgment. You can tell me whether I'm fat. If you think I am, that's okay. But just think twice before you call anybody fat, because we've created life. It's not easy. Sometimes I just want to have a fucking break and eat an ice cream. Sometimes I just want to break and eat a jar of really, really nice chocolate cookie. Just because I'm a new mom, I wake up 4 or 5 times a night to feed my baby, and during the day I still have to cater to her. I have to breastfeed every 2 to 3 hours. I mean, I didn't have my body to myself when I was pregnant, so I haven't had my body to myself for a year now. And a lot of you guys probably are not having sex, right? Like, what are you gonna do? And I mean, my husband is not here, but even he is here. When you're breastfeeding, your libido is really low, and a lot of times you just don't feel like it. And plus, you're just so tired. You don't have any energy to do anything. When you have a minute to yourself, you just want to sleep. And for me, I still work as a blogger on my maternity leave. I literally took 3 days off after my baby was born. I went right back to work, went right back to filming, went right back to trying different kinds of makeup and skincare for you guys. That's just me. That's what I've been doing. And I'm loving it. I'm not complaining, because I'm very grateful that I even have the opportunity to do this because of you guys. Anyways, my makeup is done. Do you guys like it? I realized that ignoring haters when you're postpartum is harder, because you're more emotional, you are really insecure about your own body. Normally, I am so secure about who I am. I don't really get bothered when people say that I'm fat, thin, ugly, pretty, or whatever. But when you're postpartum, when you just delivered a baby, you look in the mirror and you say, oh God, I don't look nearly as thin as I used to be. It really messes with your mind. You become really insecure. I constantly question whether I will ever be able to get my body back. Will I ever have my bikini body? Will I ever be okay with not having no fat on my belly? And will I be okay wearing stuff that exposes my belly ever again? I don't know. I still have that really ugly line that runs in the middle of my belly. Anyways, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys what my belly looks like. Okay guys, this is gonna be really brave of me to do this, because I am very, very insecure about my belly, but I'm gonna show you guys. Just so to tell all the haters out there, I'm a new mom. I'm not ashamed of my weight gain. I'm not ashamed of my belly. It was a miracle that I created an incubated life. And the human race is around precisely because of us. Women who selflessly gave up our own bodies for a while to create life. And we should be worshipped, praised, and cheered. Not demonized, humiliated, ridiculed, okay? And to all the women out there, to all the moms out there, you are beautiful no matter what your postpartum bodies look like. And for anybody who's evil enough to body shame you, screw them. Shame on them, okay? All right, to make you feel like you're not alone, I'm gonna show you my postpartum belly. I'll let you know what creating life really require you to sacrifice. Okay guys, this is my belly. I used to have no fat over here, no fat over here, and no fat over here either. But you can see that I've got like a ton of fat over here on the back, and a ton of fat over here. And for some reason my ass is gone, but that's the reality. And you can see this nasty line is still over here. I don't know, it's been 3 months, it's still around. And it looks like it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's just like my skin is like just like loose in general. Like, oh my God, like none of this belonged to me before. I'm sorry if that was disgusting, but I just had to show you guys. I just had to let you know that you're not alone. Everyone's bodies change after pregnancy. And it's okay to take your time. It's okay to feel out of shape. It's okay to have that post-dinner ice cream just because you've had a long day. Give our bodies a fucking break. Stop commenting on how fat and out of shape we look. That kind of comment is not welcome. And stop body shaming people, stop age shaming people. We're all perfectly imperfect human beings. I'm not gonna be perfect, no one is. Be easy on other women, which would translate into an easier life for you as well. Be kind to other women. That will translate into a kinder life for you. Alright, I guess that's today's Get Ready With Me, and thanks for hanging out. However, I will get my body back. Don't be ashamed if you had to go through surgery to completely get your body back. I mean, not everyone is gonna be snapping back to normal just using diet and exercises. Some people's bodies are just never gonna be the same again. And maybe mine will never be the same again. I'll show you guys what I looked like before. If my body's never gonna be the same again, then I'm okay with it, because I will wear every ounce of fat as a badge of honor because I've had my daughter. After I stop nursing, I will be exercising, I will be dieting, I will be doing whatever I can to gain my old body back. And I welcome all of you guys to go on this journey with me and cheer me on as I work hard to being a mom, a wife, and most importantly, your friend, okay? All right, I love you guys so much. Talk to you next time. Bye. I don't have a mirror here. What am I doing? Okay, here.